Hello, today the Fintech Power 50 are at Money20 Europe on day one, and my name's Tom and I'm joined with Sam Seaton, CEO of Moneyhub. Sam, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And I guess the best way to start off, as always, is for those of our viewers who aren't aware of Moneyhub or aren't fully aware of what it is you do, just give us a little bit of breakdown about what Moneyhub is.
So Moneyhub, data and payments, all data, not just open banking data, but all data, very important to the world. And then I guess what probably sets us apart is I think how you access that. So, we're a tech platform, like many here at Money20 this year, but you can access us by white labeling us, you can API in, you can just use payments, or you can use our decisioning kit, which I think makes us kind of a bit unique about how you use the tech.
Fantastic. And as I said, we're at day one of Money20. We're not even halfway through day one at the moment. So I know it's a bit early to be asking this, but what has been your biggest takeaway from the event so far, and what are you looking forward to seeing in the coming days?
So my takeaway, like two things that stand out, is how professional and organized it is. Like genuinely, it's like military operation, isn't it? And I mean, you still can't, even though you've been before, it's just vast. It's a bit like Mission Impossible, isn't it? I mean, it's like unbelievable how many halls there are. And I mean, the logistics are just, I just can't imagine it.
No, it's so impressive, and as you said, it's just such a huge event. It's always so impressive to walk into, especially the first time on day one. Now, obviously, we didn't speak that long ago at IFGS, about a couple of months ago now. So what can you tell us about any developments that have happened for Moneyhub in the last sort of couple of months since then?
So I think probably the most exciting thing for us that's been happening, it's been building obviously for a certain amount of time, but I think with two of our big banking clients, Moneyhub's kit will be going into their core banking tech stack. And that's quite a big thing for Moneyhub and quite a big thing for the banks as well, actually. So that's probably something that the team are most enjoying at the moment, because you're right in the heart of, millions of transactions and millions of payments. And also you really start to be able to, with our kit, to reach millions of people, so reaching that audience where you really do help consumers. So it's quite motivating.
And if you think about that space a little bit, are there any specific areas in fintech that are really exciting you right now, that are enabling that?
So for me, the biggest excitement is because of AI, the focus now on data. I mean, data's become sexy again, hasn't it? I mean, like for me, being a data nerd, it's always been so exciting, but to get companies, I think, to focus on how important data is, when I think it is very hard work. Like data it's always hard work. So, this AI revolution we've got is brilliant, because without the data, we can't really leverage AI in the way that everyone wants to.
And obviously AI is such a huge topic at the moment. I mean, you can't go anywhere, definitely not Money20, without hearing all about AI and its different use cases. But if we take a step away from that, are there any sort of big challenges on the horizon, do you think, for just the fintech world in general? Are there any things that you're keeping an eye on, maybe to do with AI, maybe not, that you think, we just need to keep an eye on at the moment?
Well, I mean, genuinely, there is huge appetite and value to using AI to perhaps, for example, close the advice gap. There's lots of different ways we can use AI to really genuinely make a difference. But having said that, without the data, and also, it does still have its ability to get it wrong. And one of the conversations we were having recently, actually at a roundtable, was how do you square that circle? So how do you get comfortable with the fact that, yes, you can achieve X brilliantly and Y badly, and how do we as financial services get comfortable with that? And I think that is the biggest challenge we've got. We want the fruits of AI, but it will come with a cost, and we've got to get our heads around that. It's hard.
How is Moneyhub promoting DE&I within its own organisation and operations?
So as you can imagine, with being a female CEO, I feel a huge obligation to D&I. So we do a lot in Moneyhub to actually make sure we really do cover the ground that needs to be covered, because it's not about just having the policies in place and the goals, which I think we all have. I mean, Moneyhub definitely has the goals, but it's about actually when you welcome people into the organization from different parts of the world and different backgrounds, different cultures, you've also got to make them feel very comfortable. Otherwise they can't thrive. So I think that's the biggest focus that we've put into our world at Moneyhub is genuinely making sure people feel very comfortable in Moneyhub, no matter where they've come from. And that's taken a bit of effort, actually. It doesn't just happen. So that's one thing. But on top of that, we've got some very exciting news to announce, which is that we've just appointed our new chair for the next 3 years, and it's a female chair, which Anne Kochov, which she's joining this week, and she will obviously add to my CEO role, and also Amanda, who is our CFO. So I think it's unusual to have a lot of females at the top level in the board, around the table in fintech, but we've managed to get 3, which I think is very exciting actually for the industry.
Yeah, definitely. And if we look to the future now, are there any sort of big developments or plans that you have going on in the next 12 months or so that you'd like to share?
So I think with our own smart data bill and other legislation, like even in the US, they're adopting open banking. In a way, I mean it's very exciting to see that happening. So I think there's 2 things we're keeping an eye on. So the UK legislation, which means that not only can we take advantage of the data, but we can put it to better use. So the advice and guidance review that's taking place, I think, is a really big one to keep an eye on. We've also got PSD3 in effect going into Europe, so the standards going across Europe, very exciting. And then I think if you throw the US into the mix, they're the 3 things that we'll be keeping an eye on because they're going to impact our business.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously a hugely exciting sort of time for the space at the moment, and one for all of us to keep our eye on, and hopefully see a lot of development in the next year. Yeah. But Sam, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a delight to have you here once again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Money 2020.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.